What is up, everybody? Welcome to the video here. So I came across this article. We're going to dive right into it and give y'all my first reaction, thoughts live right here. So really cool. I found this title really interesting, so I'm sure a lot of other people do too, and I would like to actually learn if this is some kind of study behind this. As y'all see here, people who play this sport live the longest. I'm curious to know what these sports are. Maybe I can work this into the routine. If there's something, is it something I'm already doing, and or find out why, look at what the sports are and try to understand why that is. And then it may not be the sport, but certain mechanics of the sport that you're doing, like whether it's more high intensity or different movements, stuff like this. But let's just dive right into it. So we're just going to read right through the article here and just take it as it comes. So any physical activity is better for health and longevity than no physical activity, but that doesn't mean that all physical activities are equally beneficial. Researchers in Denmark have found that people who take part in one particular type of exercise generally live longer than people who do other forms of exercise. Which one is it? Take a guess. The ball's in your court. Their answer, oh damn, that was fast. The answer, tennis. I thought we'd have to read a little bit. Well, there you go. That's it for the video. See y'all later. Peace out. The answer, tennis. People who have regularly played tennis have the longest life expectancy compared with people who do other activities such as jogging, swimming, or bicycling. Jogging, more steady state, lower intensity. Swimming. Now, swimming can be more high intensity, but you could also turn that into a lower intensity, steady state as well. But you could also do HIIT with that as well. And if you turn jogging into sprint, it would be more HIIT. Or bicycling, again, is generally lower intensity, longer durations. But tennis would obviously be like, I mean, you're kind of active, but it's like sprint over here really quick, hit it, sprint over here real quick, hit it, sprint over here real quick, hit it, and then like the ball's out of bounds with every point match, you rest for a minute. So it more mimics like high intensity type training. So you could technically actually turn jogging into sprints, which I'll pop the reaction video I just did on some very shocking, like really cool health benefits of just 4-second sprints, doing the 4-second sprints 5 times an hour, which only comes out to 20 seconds an hour, which awesome. Just watch that video, go into another whole article. That's actually a study in that one. And then swimming, you could turn that into high intensity, like some of the workouts I do. I'll pop up some of the cardio, like pool workouts I've done. And the same thing with bicycling. You can do that, and you can turn that into more high intensity as well, where you're just going all out for 20 seconds, 30 seconds, however long, and then you're doing a more low intensity period in between. So, but that may not be all there is to it. Tennis, you're actually using both hands too. Maybe this is going to get into it why, but I'm just kind of giving my thoughts first. With tennis, it kind of does teach you to be ambidextrous, meaning using both hands. So that's working different side of your brains as well. All right, let's see here. In fact, tennis players live an average of 9.7 years longer than people who do not exercise, according to the researchers of the Copenhagen City Heart Study. So this is a little bit some study, but but I would wonder what that would be compared to other type of exercises versus people who don't exercise. You know what I'm saying? I was curious to know how that stacks up against other forms of exercise too. The sports that were linked to the best life expectancy gains typically require interval bursts of exercise using large muscle groups and full body movements, whereas the sports typically performed in a continuous manner showed less impressive life expectancy gains, wrote corresponding author and cardiologist Peter Schnohor, I don't know how you pronounce his name, MD, DMSCR, Frankensberg Hospital, Copenhagen, Denmark, and co-authors of Mayo Clinic proceedings. So that's kind of what he was saying, what I was saying. It's more like, so all sports, not just saying tennis, but sports that were linked to the best life expectancy were gains typically required interval bursts, like I'm saying, was more HIIT style training of exercise and used large muscle groups, which your legs are your biggest muscle group. So if you're doing HIIT with your legs, or even like a kickboxing workout, I really enjoy kickboxing too. You're basically using your whole body with that, punching and kicking, and that can be structured in a high intensity approach. You can almost turn anything, you really can turn anything pretty much into a high intensity workout. So that's good. If you don't necessarily like tennis, do sprints. If you don't like sprints, do kickboxing workouts. If you don't like kickboxing, just do regular boxing workouts. You could do a rebound or a quick trampoline. I do trampoline workouts too. Great for the joints, longevity of the joints, and you're getting that high intent. I'll pop that video up too with my trampoline workouts as well. Play hard, live less. For the study, okay, so we actually do got some study action here. For the study, I'm just gonna say Dr. S, man. Shahor, I'm just gonna say Dr. S, and colleagues reviewed data on 8,577 participants in the Copenhagen City Heart Study, a prospective population study began in 1991 that followed participants for up to 25 years for all-case mortality. Among all participants in the study, 12% reported sedentary behavior, no physical activity, and 66 engaged in at least one type of physical activity. Okay, so here we go. It actually does have it breaking down so much. Tennis was 9 added years to life versus sedentary lifestyle. Damn, badminton is second. Me and my family busted that out this past Christmas, man. Super freaking fun. Which is like a form of tennis, but you're hitting in the air essentially. Which, you could obviously make that more and more intense. Soccer, third, which, dude, that is... See, soccer is like high intensity mixed with long bouts of running. Because just depending like where you play, there's a ton of freaking running. Cycling again, but up here it said compared to cycling wasn't, so again this would be cycling, I'm guessing more high intensity type approach. Swimming is here too. The ones they said, what did it say, man? Okay, it just showed the ones that conformed in a continuous manner showed less impressive life physical gains. So you're still getting years added to your life by doing more like long intensity, all these other things, but it's just not as much, damn near 4 to 10. That's a huge jump. Badminton is super surprising, man, to be. I would think volleyball would be on here. I thought, how tennis is there and badminton is there. I would think volleyball. So I'm really curious if they'd even looked into that. I would think that would be one of the highest ones too, thinking about how the movement patterns are very similar to tennis and badminton as well. Swimming, then we got jogging, calisthenics, 3.1, health club, 1.5, so I'm guessing that's lifting weights. But again, you can take a weightlifting workout and more so turn that into, like, you can work more of your cardiovascular system that way as well. And again, there's a ton of factors you don't know about in the studies, but you obviously want to be training anaerobic, mean lifting, strength training. You could be using calisthenics or body weight for that as well. And then doing cardiovascular training too. We have 2 systems in the body. We want to make sure we're using both systems, not just one. And you're kind of using a little bit of the other when you are doing one. Everything's a little bit connected there. When compared with sedentary behavior, the activity associated with longer years of life expectancy were tennis, 9.7 years back. I ain't going to go through those numbers. We look at the chart right there. However, more time spent on the activity didn't translate to greater longevity. People who did health club activities, example given, treadmill, elliptical, and stair climber, stationary bikes, and weightlifting. All right, see this right here. So that's a horrible sampling there for health club. Because for health club activities, well, the people you're studying, did they only go in there and do treadmill and ellipticals? Stair climbers and stationary bikes? Because basically that's, again, that could be the low intensity. That's cardio. But then the weightlifting is going to be the anaerobic, aerobic exercise. So that's 2 different sides of the spectrum. If somebody's going in there weightlifting, that's going to produce different results than somebody going in there treadmill, elliptical, stair climbing, and stationary bikes. Again, you can transform how you're training these and what results you're really going to get from them, which would then yield the health, not only the physical, like gains, like cardiovascularly or muscular strength-wise, endurance, but also obviously based on this study type too, it would impact your level of longevity as well. You could lighten the weights up, even the weightlifting, go higher reps, really short rest times, do full body movements, and have an insane cardio workout, like kind of like basically essentially what CrossFit does basically. All right, let's see. All right, people in the health club activities worked out for an average of about 2.5 hours per week, yet tennis players played for about 1.7 hours per week. Cyclists spent the most time doing their activity, an average of 6.4 hours per week, while swimmers spent the least time at 58 minutes per week. Dang, that's really cool to see though, man. Like, I don't play tennis, but I'd be down to pick up tennis 1.7 hours a week. And even if I only played an hour a week, one session for an hour, I could potentially be adding on 5.7, let's say, hours to my life. And that's the cool thing about it. If I did half of that, whatever that comes out to, what, 8.85 hours, whatever that comes out to, I could potentially still be adding, based on this study, whatever half of 9.7 is, years to my life. Pretty cool. Again, something's always better than nothing, my people. But there's a ton of factors to longevity as well. But this is just looking at the exercise that we're going to keep rolling through here. Per week, cyclists. Play together, live longer. Notably, activities that involve more social interaction were associated with the greatest longevity, the research found. Sports that require participants to play together and socially interact, tennis, badminton, and soccer, for example, were associated with the best improvements in longevity. On the other hand, activities that are typically more solitary, like jogging, swimming, and cycling, had less longevity benefit. The smallest improvement in life expectancy was noticed in people who predominantly did health club activities. Dr. S. and colleagues wrote, the reason for this could be that their heart rate was lower than for the other sports, but the reason could also be due to the tendency for people to exercise alone on stationary machines with weights in the health club, thereby missing out on the social interaction mandated by racket sports and soccer, for example. I'm not saying that's not a reason why, but they're just kind of, I think that's just kind of that could be causation, just for the fact that the top activities were ones that you had to do with other people. I don't think that, that's not necessarily going to mean that's the reason why it's going to produce longer lifespan. It could have something to play with, man. Humans are, we're social creatures. I believe in a lot of the unseen stuff, and also, it could have, it has a lot to do with psychological health and stuff too. But same thing in the gym, you can have a lifting partner, or, technically, I think you can play tennis by yourself. If you had a machine shooting to you, I think you might can put up a wall like table tennis. But that could have something to do. I just wanted to add that in there. That could have something to do with it. But I think that's a little bit more looking at kind of causation. It could be like the dynamics of the sport. Like tennis, you're having to use both hands, like the ambidextrous side of it, the kind of hit aspect of it. So it's like working your brain a lot too, your cardio, and you're kind of working more anaerobically too, because you're using your muscles in fast twitch, explosive bouts, which is going to be more like weightlifting as well. A bunch of different factors, but again, that could for sure have something to do with it. Again, could be just causational though as well. Let's see. Go play with your friends. It appears that the single most important feature of one's exercise routine is that it should involve a play date. Play is Mother Nature's remedy for stress. I do agree with that. You gotta keep that childlike heart and mentality at a certain time. You be extremely serious about stuff, but you never want to lose that, man. You lose that, then you really start aging then, man. You gotta have those play. I'm at the point now in my life that I gotta schedule in play days. Be serious, but schedule in those times where it's play time essentially. And anytime for me, like if I'm with a female, I take that as playtime. I'm cutting loose, I'm relaxed, I'm chilling like really hard, right? Like I'm no stress mode when I'm with the females. I take that as basically playtime when I'm with females. Or if I'm planning like a trip out or something like that, or if I'm scheduled something on a specific date for something with somebody, that's playtime. You know what I'm saying? But don't just be playing on, make your work time, your playtime, essentially, to boil that down really quick. Said one of the study authors, play is Mother Nature's remedy for stress, said one of the study authors, cardiologist James O'Keefe, MD, medical director, Charles and Barbara Dubach, Cardio Health and Wellness Center, St. Luke's Mid-America Heart Institute, Kansas City, Missouri. Goodness, that was a mouthful, man. He added, if we are looking for an exercise to improve longevity, we would do well to get together regularly with at least one other person to do some physical activity that feels like fun. I think that's the big thing there. Feels like fun for what they're saying. Not just getting together with somebody, but it's got to feel like fun. I really like kickboxing for that aspect of it too. The authors acknowledged that although the study has many strengths, one limitation was that it was an observational study, so it doesn't show whether the relationship between activity and longevity was causal or merely an association. The study was supported by the Danish Heart Foundation. So that's a huge thing there. You don't know what these people's diets were looking like or whatever. Like for me, just thinking I could be, but like to me, tennis is more like a country club type activity. It might be more like more wealthier type people playing or something. So they might be just already like buying more foods and more wealthy or something. So I don't know. In badminton too, I don't really know who's paying. Like I don't know anybody that just gets together routinely and plays badminton. Is that like something super wealthy people do or something? I mean, here in South Carolina, man, that is not something you hear about that regularly goes on. Soccer, obviously, like in college, and like there's a big soccer complex over there in the next town over and all. So these other ones are more so common, but tennis, we do have a little tennis thing in Darlington, obviously, for the high school and stuff. You see people out there very rarely hitting, but I wouldn't be down to get into some tennis, honestly, man. No, thankfully, I mean, got friends obviously, but I'm saying thankfully, like, even got like my brother, he enjoys doing stuff like that too. So there's somebody right there, get in it, at it with. But badminton is super fun, man. We did that on Christmas, like the whole family did. That was freaking fun, dude. But yeah, that's really cool, man. I'm gonna leave that right there again. Based on this study, again, there's not a whole lot. There's like, what did I just say right there? Observational study. So you don't know how much these people are sleeping, you know what I'm saying? You don't know what their diet was like, all these stress factors, job, all these other kind of factors. But based on this, man, again, tennis added 9.7 years, badminton 6.2 years, soccer 4.7, cycling 3.7, swimming 3.4, jogging 3.2, calisthenics 3.1, health club 1.5. And again, I kind of explain how super flawed that could be as well. And most people who are going to the gym ain't really getting after it. You know what I'm saying? Let's be 100% honest, and they're really not doing much in the gym when they do go. But yeah, that's it for the video, man. I'm going to drop this link down in the first link of the bio if you want to check it out. Second link, y'all already know, man, it's going to be the one-on-one coaching application. You can fill out the application, get you on a free consultation call, and we'll just go from there, man. If I think we're a good fit to work with each other, we'll get you on the fast track to your goals, essentially. You know, taking care of your diet, taking care of your workout routine as well, really taking care of that knowledge and mindset aspect too, so we can get you the results and keep the results, set you up for that long-term success. But that's it for the video. Send me anything y'all want to see me react to. Y'all can send it, just drop it down below, or send it to me on any social media. Those are linked down below as well. I got a bunch of social media accounts, but anything on Instagram or Facebook or whatever. Instagram is probably going to be the best way to reach me if it's not on YouTube. But yeah, send them in. I think it's a good idea to get into it. I shall get into it. Appreciate y'all watching. Stay happy, stay healthy. Go make y'all some gains. Peace out, everybody.